Jean, come here. Look at me. I'm gonna make you the featherweight Alex Pereira, and it'll take 5 seconds. Just stop touching my glove. I know you're happy to exist. I don't believe a second of it, though. I think you've glove-touched your way into a couple cheap knockouts, but f all that. Just hang on a second. We're gonna make you a celebrity if you just do this. Look, this right here. If you're capable of doing that, yes, thank you. That makes me feel much better about you hitting me. Okay, video guy, get me out of here. Jean Silva is taking on Diego Lopez in a fight seasoned with title contention. Movsar Evloev is for some godforsaken reason fighting Aaron Pico. Volk is still not scheduled against anyone, let alone Yair Rodriguez like we all thought he was. And Lerone Murphy is now in featherweight purgatory with Youssef Zalal. After 8 wins in a row, the poor bastard's not even in the conversation, but whatever. Let's talk about Lopez versus Silva. So with the aforementioned Lerone Murphy situation, it was pretty shocking to me that Jean Silva was scheduled with Diego Lopez. Diego's run was so impressive, you gotta think a win against anyone is gonna get him a title shot, especially if Movsar beats Aaron Pico and then Volkanovski, which is what everyone thinks is gonna happen. But if Movsar becomes the champion, then you got the Movsar Evloev Diego Lopez rematch, which is just as spicy as Lopez Volkanovski. I mean, from Diego's perspective, as long as he doesn't have to fight Murphy, a win over Jean Silva means good things. Now, the problem is, I don't think he's gonna beat Jean Silva. Jean Silva's got that weird, funky thing to him. Alex Pereira had it. Joe Anderson Brito had it. It's just this thing where, like, on a spiritual level, you can't imagine them losing. You can't imagine any scenario in which they lose until they do. You don't go through this game unscathed, but Jean Silva, I feel like if Jean would just stop with this goofy sociopath with no charisma thing and the glove touching. Ugh. I actually enjoyed the angle he went with when he fought Bryce because the fight became Jean Silva's journey to force Bryce to touch his glove, and that shit's hilarious. Obviously, it wouldn't have worked if he wasn't beating Bryce's ass so bad, but I like the idea of if you don't touch my glove, I'm gonna hit you harder. It was cute against Bryce Mitchell, but number one, I don't think Diego Lopez is gonna try to touch his glove because I think he knows the whole excessive glove touching thing is not a personality quirk for Jean Silva. They don't call him the fighting retards. They're smart. It's just something he uses to change the pace up and create openings. We saw that with Melsik Bagdasaryan. And Diego Lopez, I don't think he's gonna fall for that. I really don't. So the idea of Jean Silva jumping all the way up to Diego Lopez and trying to force him to touch his glove when he won't just makes me happy inside. Because Lopez is none to be around with, and he's gonna be hungry to get that rematch, bro. Still absolutely in his prime. If Jean Silva thinks he's about to walk in there and play games, it's gonna be interesting. Also, hats off to Jean Silva for 100% certifiably not giving a You got Arnold Allen, Yair Rodriguez, Aljamain Sterling was available for a minute, along with Brian Ortega, of course. Josh Emmett. I mean, there's all kinds of easier roads he could have taken, but Diego Lopez was the fight he accepted. And we all know Jean Silva's him. Like, it's not questionable that he's one of the scariest, if not the scariest featherweight next to Movsar. Which, to bring it back to the beginning, on the fact that he is objectively one of the most dangerous featherweights on the roster. I just feel like if he would stop being so if he would just stop doing everything except for fighting, he would be featherweight Alex Pereira. He would have been featherweight Alex Pereira by now, but Diego Lopez Jean Silva would, if he goes in there and acts like a normal human being, just doesn't say anything, pleads the fifth. With a victory over Diego Lopez, especially in dramatic fashion, Jean Silva would emerge a superstar, but he's not going to do that. That's the problem. That's why we got to all collectively, it didn't work for Charles, but we got to gather that energy. We got to make that spirit bomb for Diego Lopez. Because good God, I don't care how exciting Jean Silva is or ever will be. I cannot watch another mid-round glove touch. They irk me in general, but the fact that that's Jean Silva's entire gimmick, it just adds 9 more levels to it.